373-348 domestic. Could be in front of the courtyard by Marriott. Users responding to Marriott. Reporting party advised that all of the subjects went into a house on Warmer, but there's a red minivan in the driveway.
That's the old hammer and anvil that we like to perform.
What's up? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What up, Ed for Action? What's up, Joko Cap? Watch. What's up? How are you guys doing for Friday?
I'm doing amazing myself. My arm's a little sore, but I'm enjoying my Friday.
Sweet, sweet. Let's see if...
How about you?
I can't complain. I wonder if this damn jukebox will actually play some good music.
Maybe.
And not blow us out this week.
Right?
Might be fun.
Let's see what it does.
What's up, Tapatios? How are you, sir?
Thank you guys for stopping in. We're working like we always are. We don't have anything really crazy to announce. It's just kind of chilling and chatting while we're working. It's good to see you guys. We might show you guys some of what we're working on. Maybe not. You know. Thank you guys for being here.
No horizontal stuff today, Ro. We're playing with the algorithm to see if it actually changes for us as well. So we're gonna go vertical this one. We'll see how we'll see how it works out. If it doesn't work out, we'll probably do another couple verticals just to make sure we test the waters and everything, and thoroughly test the waters. That is.
Now, Chris, since we're diving into these new waters, right?
Yeah,
maybe
man.
It's best if we tell everybody who's watching that maybe hasn't tuned in before exactly what the police record is, and kind of give them a brief breakdown of why we're here, and why we feel like what we're doing is really important.
Well, the whole reason that I'm here was to help create a system, that stop the officer right here, right?
Right. To build a system that helped us have a data-driven conversation about policing, right? And to be able to identify officers and keep track of what they're doing on our dime, right? To be able to really nail down their behavior, right? Have a conversation based on facts rather than whatever records we can squeeze out of them, right?
Exactly. And my thing is that when basically when we met up, right, it was one of those things that it was like you were on to something. I believed it wholeheartedly. I'd put out a video like 2 years earlier talking about this subject, and then luck be have it that here's people out in the world wanting to get us connected, right?
Right.
So,
and thank you guys. If you guys don't mind, I want to take a second to say thanks again to John DeNicola, and tell him that I did grab all my logs and start looking into his error, and I'm actively working to correct your issue. Man, that'll be in our next push.
Chat on chat is broken. Hold on just a second. I will fix that. There you go. There we go. Sorry about that. Because that is where they put the actual chat when you're vertical on U-Bloops.
Yep, sorry guys, there you go.
But yeah, so the whole thing is that we all came together. We all had the same vision as far as the completion of the system.
Right.
Right. And, you know, we got into a lot of crazy avenues quickly, right, on what we were actually able to be done.
Right.
So,
and it's expanded so much from what I came to with you guys.
oh yeah.
A lot of the pieces that were originally a part of the one big clunky thing that I built have been kind of taken out and fleshed out into their own, like, pieces in their own right. And then on top of that, you know, you guys have created entirely new pieces to handle some of the stuff that I'd thought of, and entirely new pieces to handle some of the stuff that I had never thought of. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's been a pretty amazing journey, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can completely agree. And, you know, in the coming weeks, it's going to get even more amazing. You know,
Hell yeah.
I'm just going to dive headfirst into it and see how everything turns out. Roll the quarters, so to speak. But the whole thing is that
How do you think your flips turned out so far?
So far, so good. So far, so good. You know, the bringing the tracks system itself, getting it to a point where we can actually, you know, fork the development for an open source version of it was a huge step, right? And, you know, being able to, you know, give a software package back to the community, right? We understand not everybody can afford everything, but we also believe that you should be able to, you know, take care of what you need to take care of as well. So, you know, with the streaming and everything aspect of it. So it's played on my heart for many, many, many years of actually playing out here and watching what you guys go through. So
it took quite a long time to find a really good usable solution.
Yeah, you know, I mean, for as much knowledge there is out there on so many subjects that there are, you know, it seems like some of these knowledge bases are protected like gold for unknown reasons, right? You know, so I don't really want to say unknown, it's greedy reasons. Yeah.
Right.
If you click a mouse, somebody wants it. So anyway, thanks, Roy, for jumping around to all three of them and hitting them. Appreciate it.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So, you know, part of today's is to come up, answer questions from anybody in the audience. You know, tell you a little bit about the system, and you know, we want to be able to make sure that good cops float to the top and bad cops get flushed. You know, and it seems that the music just kind of fell off the side. See if we can get anything better. A little bit there. Condensed reality, what's going on? Appreciate you being here. So, you know, again, the system basically was not built. Nobody was trying to, you know, give the people a better view of what law enforcement was, right? You know, you get open records, great. You know, you got to spend hours and hours and hours of combing through them and all this other craziness, you know, and then you still might not be able to connect the dots with it. And, you know, huge amounts of money is being spent into it, right? I mean, all of us have not only sacrificed blood, sweat, and tears, we've also sacrificed, you know, Benjamin Franklin's to make sure that this, you know, make sure that this system is running, right? And, you know, part of that is that's why we have places and, you know, things in place to try to recoup some of our money, right? You know, going out and just filing an open records request, right? That's great. But if you push it through something like Muckrock, MUCROCK, right? Everybody gets to see it at that point.
Yeah, it's
right?
public.
Yeah, Mutt likes to share. Appreciate it.
So, man, it's pretty legit. Like, the system as a whole has come together in a way that I didn't even see coming into like the first, like when I first started building it. Like if I'd have known then what I know now, and I couldn't have, but if I had, like it's crazy how far along we'd be. But I think that all in all, it's been like a good journey, because without that journey, it wouldn't be near as powerful as it's turned out to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, because you know, a couple of times through this, I mean, we've had to kind of wipe a few things and rebuild a little bit.
Right.
Right.
Start from a different position. John,
Right,
any kind of records we can get as far as public records. I'm sorry, I saw that question. I just had to answer it. Any records we can get. That's the thing, man. We want, the more data we have, the more powerful this thing becomes. It's a matter of like the power of big data, and the power of big data comes from the fact that it's so big, and that just means the more we have, the better off we are. Anything. Yeah. We want it all.
You know, if you happen to get, you know, how many parking tickets were wrote in a spreadsheet, right? And it was broken down by all the officers. Great, we want to know about it. If you're researching how many times the cops were called for noise complaints, great, we want to know about that too.
Yeah.
Right? If you're calling because your neighbor left trash out and you're doing public records to make sure the cops are going and checking on that, we want those records too.
We want to know that. If you're doing stuff about their body cams or their policies, or if you're doing stuff about the
last charity they did, we want to know
their
good.
oaths of office, you know, complaints, you name it. If it relates to law enforcement, we want to know it. And it's not something that one entity can do, because give me 1 second. Let me hit this button that takes me to the home page real quick. By our estimate, right, there's something like 18,000 police departments that encompass something like 1,280,000, so like 1.25 million officers across the United States. That's and there are so many records that they have generated. There's no way that we can get them all as one person, but as the people, it's a doable thing. And that's why we need you guys. You know, if you're out there watching and you want to make a difference, you know, this is like something that you can do to make a difference. Like, get public records, make them publicly available like they should be, and fucking hip us to it, you know, let us know, hey, this is where these records are, and they have to do with the police, and we'll go gobble that stuff up, and we'll make sure that anybody who comes to this platform can see that kind of thing.
Also, if you can think of a better way to give us more data, or a way to make it easier for yourself, let us know. Reach out to us.
For
Info
sure.
at policerecord.com.
We'd love to talk about it.
Any way we can make this easier.
See what we can do to make it easier, yeah.
Great point, EJ. Thank you. And if you guys don't know, it's things like that, those things from EJ when he decides to come out, that have made this like such a good synergy.
So how do they reach out to us?
Mm-hmm.
How do they reach out to us? At this email that I'm fitting to put in the chat.
Info at thepolicerecord.com.
That's it.
Hit us up on all the major socials at the Police Record.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, all kinds of socials. And you can hit us at this email right here, and let us know what we can do to make this easier for you or better for you. Mm-hmm. You know, what we can do to make it more useful, easier to use. Any kind of comments like that, we really appreciate it, because we want this to be the easiest it can be and the best it can be. You know? This needs to be something that makes data about police so easy to get a hold of that it turns the world of getting records about police on its head. And with facial recognition and all these other modern technological endeavors that we have been pursuing in the last few years, we've taken one giant fucking leap for mankind towards making that happen. So just stay tuned. If you haven't yet, go to thepolicerecord.com and create your account. If you haven't done that, then stop watching the video now and go over to thepolicerecord.com and make an account. We're working really hard every day, even on our Fridays, to push big updates to you. We're working on some crazy stuff right now. Just make sure you check it out if you haven't. If you can't take that advice, then you should probably just stop watching now and go do something else.
What's up, Josephine from New York? We appreciate you coming in.
And if you're still watching, go ahead. I
go to the
apologize.
Police Records YouTube channel. Give that some more traction.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. That would be really nice if you guys haven't stopped by and subscribed over there to the Police Records YouTube. That'd be legit. Fuck yeah. Sorry, I did have something else I really wanted to say, and I interrupted you, Chris, and I apologize. And that also made me completely forget that shit. So, you know how it is.
Oh, you beat me to it.
I'm just sitting here vibing out, though, for real, having a good time. For you guys who stuck around, I assume you already have an account at the Police Record. And I appreciate the shit out of you. If you guys don't know, now you know.
I think that Ed's completely right. There's plenty of fucking bandwidth out there to stream all these bastards' webcams back live. And see them saving the kitty cat out of the tree, truthfully. I mean, that's what I really want to see them doing. Or catching a fucking child molester, or, stopping a rapist, fighting real crimes, right? This added issues of,
I just had a good idea. I can't really talk about it on the live stream because it's still kind of newish. I'll talk to you guys about it when we're done.
Yeah, so we appreciate you being out there, Josephine. It takes a group, it takes it's not done with just one person, it's a group of us. Right? So, you want to make sure that, like in New York, you guys, you got the webpage you can look up the cops on if you got their like a badge number and stuff, right? We want to be able to put a phone in your hand that you can just take a picture of them and it tells you, right? So think about it. They're using it against you. Why shouldn't you have it against, and it's not even for an against thing, right? I would like to know that I'm dealing with somebody that has 4 bad marks in his folder, right? I don't care what the bad marks are, right? It might change my opinion on how I want to deal with the situation to make sure that I walk away, right? If he's a hard ass and you really don't want to deal with jail tonight, you might kiss ass a little bit just to walk away. Some of us just really don't want to fight that fight. But I think that the public should be informed of who their officer is and, how much salary he's bringing home and is he actually earning it? Sweet. We make a database in the system that can do real-time facial recognition of them. And it's called thepolicerecord.com.
That makes sense.
So
let me see. Let me make sure. No, that should be.
In other news.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm just in other news. If you haven't seen, it seems that there was a supposed law enforcement officer that wasn't registered with Georgia's Post to be working at a school that seems to have like full-blown marriage proposal and gone all in on the marriage with Georgia Transparency is the channel's name. If you haven't checked out his channel, there's some crazy going over there. And then Otto, went out again today and, it's seeming pretty normal. You know, so kind of those kind of things, man. You know, he goes out, holds a sign, and cops think they can come tell him that he's standing on private. Tried to say that his camera equipment was blocking. And the crazy thing was, is I told him to put it between a spot that was not easily passable. Right. So, you know how you have like the guardrails to walk up for the handicap ramp that's in concrete, you know, you're only going up like 3 inches or whatever.
Right.
But they guardrailed it in. Right. And then right there at the corner, they had a big ass, I want to say a 6-inch telephone pole, 6-8 inch fucking telephone pole in the damn ground. Right. And you had maybe 8 inches to walk between it and the damn railing. Right. And they were trying to say that his camera equipment was impeding. And it's just like, you know, come on, guys. You know, you can't do anything. Come out and take some pictures. You know, walk up and ask for an autograph.
Right.
Right. And when you get told no, and you get told to kick rocks, look at them and say, hey, man, I'll try the next time you're out here.
How do you think the cop would react if we got one of their pictures from the database and went up to him and asked him to autograph it after we'd put some like data overlays on it about their career?
I mean, it might be some.
You think they'd react well?
Yeah, I doubt it. I couldn't imagine them wanting to autograph.
Can't do that in Texas, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, Texas, we couldn't. We could probably pull it off in Georgia for them.
We could, because we're allowed to have pictures of them. We're just not allowed to use biometrics, and as long as we didn't generate any biometrics for...
Yeah. We can't. We can't in Texas. Because I believe that it would cause us too much issue. I think that, you know, watching some of these guys get it's amazing. Like Georgia Transparency was hauled off and they did it all on live stream, and the cop tried to be the nicest he could about violating that man's rights.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is that even the police chief, right? This is what gets crazy about it. The police chief drug him down to the jailhouse. And he asked him if he felt that he was doing right by this. And, you know, the guy comes out, the investigator, so to speak, comes out and says, you're not under arrest. And then comes back out, you're under arrest for disorderly conduct. And then it got changed again. It's just... it's insane, right? You know, the reason that Otto was out there protesting, this old boy literally had a judge call him and make death threats to him, like a JP. And he was already in jail, right? He got a judicial pardon, right? A judicial pardon never happens. Right, especially in the state of Texas. The judges in that area looked at the case and found it so horribly wrong that the only right that they could find was to give him clemency. Right, and instantly gave it to him. So
I don't know that I trust judges so much. At least most of them.
Yeah, not that one anyway. Holy smokes. Holy smokes.
Yeah. It's hard to have respect for a lot of judges.
Yeah.
When you watch them.
Oklahoma, what's up?
In my opinion. What's up, Oklahoma?
If
I missed anybody, man, I'm sorry.
No, they just... Go ahead.
I just got my head on a swivel. I'm watching all 3 screens, doing development in the chat. You know?
Dude, careful. It'll make you sick, bro.
Nah.
I've done it. I've looked at was like trying to watch them all at once, and I was like, whoa. Need to quit going so fast there.
Yeah, I know you've done a lot of security watching in the past, so
Bro,
that'll be natural.
that's being quick on the keyboard, right? So you got this joystick, right? It's got a 10 key on it. And you learn your freaking key commands, right? So when you key in for like PTZ number 13 or 50 or whatever it is, right? What up, G-Man? Appreciate you coming in from Jersey. You just type in the number and it brings it, because it's all hooked to a matrices, it would bring it to the main screen in front of you, right? And you'd have people behind you that are actually watching all those screens, right? Looking for just craze.
G-Man, you been here a while? I don't think I've seen that in chat before.
I haven't seen it.
Right.
So if you don't know what the policerecord.com is, I bet you No Name's got something.
In my opinion, I think it's 3 pretty talented individuals' best efforts at building something that reliably takes publicly available data about police and puts it together so that we can start to have a conversation about what the police are actually up to.
Mm-hmm. Right. And give us a tracking.
Yeah, some mechanism to tie records to cops.
And records to records.
Right. And departments.
And internet searches to departments and records and police, and there's just a lot of ands, yeah. I think that it's a system that has been needing to be built since, I don't know, since I was in surveillance, right? Since I was, building computers and things like that to catch the bad guy, right? I mean, what really kills me is that in Georgia transparency, he called him a First Amendment auditor, right? And they act like they all watch the videos, but they seem to be watching them through rose-colored glasses is the only thing I can come up with, right? Because they're not really seeing what they're doing wrong, right? And I think it should be one of those situations where humble wins out, right? We ain't got to brag that we got a big ass tank. We ain't got to brag that we got big ass guns. You walk silently and carry a big stick. That's how it works, right? What's up, Jenny? How are you? So in part of this conversation, not everybody wants to look at all the data, or it happened in the past. What's up, Biscuits and Groovy? How are you? And
my guy. That's a dope
Sweeper,
ass,
what's going on?
It's a dope ass profile pic there. I appreciate the deadheads.
Right? What was your opinion of Jar Jar Binks when he first appeared in episode 1? I'd have to go re-watch episode 1 to actually give you a good opinion on that.
Are you asking about my opinion when I first saw episode 1 and I first saw Jar Jar Binks in episode 1? Or are you talking about my opinion of Jar Jar Binks after I had seen episode 1 and episode 2 and episode 3 and allowed a little bit of time to marinate with the introduction of all of that stuff into the whole thing? Because that's a complex question. Where I come from.
Fair enough. I would just,
I do have an answer. Jar Jar was just quite a fool and a very strange character.
Mm-hmm.
Strange character.
Very alien.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it really needed.
He's wanting to know your first reaction. It was like, what the hell?
Right.
I mean, I wasn't like, oh, Jar Jar Binks here, my hero. I mean,
but if I had to pick one hero, it'd be R2. He was a gangster, man, the whole time. He was opening doors. He was shutting down trash compactors. He was disabling shit. He was firing lightsabers. He was shocking people. He was buzz cutting things, fixing crap. Like, he was a hell of a droid. Carrying secret plans, setting up meetings. Like, R2 rocked it, in my opinion. My humble nerd opinion. That's why he lives in my computer case.
That's funny. That's good shit right there.
Well,
my computer case is too small to even put a small replica of R2 in.
So maybe I can pull this off.
Yeah. So, you know, to give you a rundown why we're here again is we're here to let you know about the policerecord.com. The system is for the people, right? You see him in there? R2 hiding in the back there underneath behind the fan.
Right.
Here.
He's just chilling.
I know, right? R2 was the most censored character ever. Everything he said was beeped out.
Right.
For reals. Poor bastard. Couldn't get a word in edgewise.
And no First Amendment right for the droids.
No. Yeah, so, you know, again, the police record, we're not only trying to collect records, we're also trying to build a system that can help determine really what the hell. What up, Sound? It's all good, man. No worries, no worries. Not only that, we flipped the fucking rotation on you. Yeah, man. Sweeper likes your R2, bro. So, yeah. And we wanted to take a moment to, you know, show up on Friday at 8, like we always been. Have a little chat with you guys, see if some new people want to come in and talk. Screw with all y'all and do a vertical stream this time, right? You know, we kind of just, I kind of threw it in like monkey wrench at the end type thing, right? So, you know, is habeas corpus being suspended? I don't know, but for all the Laratas out there, some news on that. There's been an emergency hearing on the protection zone that the First Circuit sent back and told them to redo it, basically. Highly recommend if you're really interested in that thing with the Karen Reed case and the buffer zone and Bao getting his head bounced off a van. You know, some interesting things are getting pushed back down from the First Circuit. So,
much love, ANCAP. Thanks for stopping in, bro.
Yeah,
you got to call me sometime. We have the phone connection. Like, you got to call me sometime, bro.
Bro, reach out when you feel like that. You just got to reach out.
I will. I'll call him. I'll be like, "Fuck you. I'm calling you." ANCAP, your phone might just ring, bro. And
hey man, wait until he's on stream, right?
No, I'll make sure that I've checked and that he's not.
Right.
I'm not that kind. I try not to be that kind of asshole. Sometimes I forget that the people I'm friends with sometimes stream. So. And I've been jamming this whole time.
Yeah, and sorry for the train noise.
Hell no, bro. Like, call me. Hit me up. If I didn't want you to have the ability to call me, you'd have never had the ability to call me. Or I'd take away that ability rather quickly. Or do my best. Let me see what I got going on here.
Oh, you talk about power, Ed. There's actually a recent development where we're going to be developing a custom power supply for running a bunch of Dell microcomputers. We have a very interesting use case for them internally, and we need a way to easily power them without making a giant mess of wires. So eventually we'll have a custom power supply, and eventually we'll start selling it to people who do home labbing and other things.
Yeah. Home labbing videos are going to be like cool because you're gonna get to see the inner nerds like flourish. Right, because one of the coolest things about, in my opinion, to like working and playing at a makerspace, right, aka a hackerspace, right, was the projects that would come through, right? You know, one minute you might be working on code that, I don't know, does some digital plotting of the room, right? And then another guy, he's sitting there playing with something to keep his quadcopter, his homemade quadcopter, in the air. He went and bought a single little board that you can buy, and hopefully his quadcopter would work, and the damn thing flies into the wall. And so you're trying to figure out what's going on. You know, you'll put little other sensors on it just to see if the onboard sensors are working right. You know, some dude rolls up in a wheelchair and goes, "Hey man, I want to hack my wheelchair." Right? I mean, it's all of those. You know, you're just messing with things. You're trying to create something, and something that's useful to you. So I think those videos are going to be cool. Those get me pretty excited. Right? You know, I like teaching you how to build a Raspberry Pi that can be a router, right? Plug your cell phone into it, and then you can share the internet off your cell phone. Right?
Yep.
You know, I like taking sensors like a BNO 55, right?
Are we ever gonna see some like actual like really good produced YouTube videos from you in the future on your channel?
On my channel? No way.
No way.
No way.
No way. You're not
Right.
gonna make like a tutorial series, like a put together tutorial series, come down to the
Bro.
with your
No,
hand.
man.
You have to show your face.
Man, come on, y'all. Y'all know how it rolls. I'll come up. We'll go live. Right? We'll have some pretty good angles of what I'm doing. Right? And, you know, I'll be able to do some like muxing maybe. Right? With the cameras and stuff. So you can see everything actuate. But, you know, as far as like extra production and everything like that, man, I don't think so. I think that you'll just see some better camera angles and things like that. But like, I want to focus that towards like our, you know, because when you're asking about my channel, no, not really, man. Friends and Code is just, man, it's the hacker place. You show up, you come hang out, you talk, right? We hack on things and we move on, right? You know, like on the TPR site, sure. You know, we'll get you the great little, you know, schematic drawings of what's going on and put the big WTF and everything like that. What's up, Tag? How are you? You know, and all that fun stuff, right? But like, you know, Friends and Code has never really, this stream here has been the most like on time thing Friends and Code, you know, the channel itself has ever done, right? You know, I haven't even done schedules, you know, before we even got together with TPR, right? You know, it was always when we were hacking on code for 5M. So got it, Ed. I appreciate it. So, you know, hacking on things and taking open source hardware, you know, that's always been my, you know, I've always liked that, you know, because the moment that everything's locked down where I can't, like the cell phones, I don't really like that idea. But I haven't really found me a radio that I really like, right? Not only that, but as soon as you find a radio to lock down, they're updating the signals that they're putting out, and the radio doesn't have that, for lack of a better term, codec. You know, so, you know, on the open source market, it's, you know, DIY, you know, it's a lot of creative thinking to make things work, right? You know, like using a, you know, $5 little red laser, right, and bounce it off of mirrors and have it hit a optical sensor so you can measure gravity, right? So you know when you've hit the ground. And then have another laser sensor at the top just to measure that stuff. I mean, I could talk on it for hours, right? And it's just basic. To me, I look at it as basic physics principles, right? You know, I don't think anybody contests that gravity sucks. You know, and
gravity sucks sometimes. Sometimes it is hella your friend.
Oh yeah.
If you're doing it right.
Right.
You know.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Sometimes if you're doing it wrong, though, like, oh boy, like you're not in for a good day.
Yeah.
Like,
I meant it. Gravity as a whole sucks you into the center, right?
Oh,
because
yeah,
that's basically
that.
So I had a teacher that used to that was his deal. He'd take anything that he was holding in his hand, and he's like, just remember, gravity sucks, and he drops it and it hits the ground. You know, bounce a signal. We don't really bounce signals. We bounce lasers, right? And as far as signal bouncing, we didn't really for signal bounce. We used this. Here's one for you. There is no gravity. People suck. Any of y'all geeky people out there know what? It's oh shit. I saw the LiDAR and now I'm like caught up on LiDAR. Give me just a second. I have to look it up or I'll drive myself crazy.
What do you think?
LoRaN. LoRaN. LoRaN.
Right.
There's a radio system called Meshtastic that uses that.
That uses LoRaN?
Yeah, Meshtastic that I talked about in the past.
Yeah. You know. That's an interesting whole thing, you know, because you don't really need a lot of power, right? But that fucking signal will go for a long fucking time. You know, I mean, you can literally monitor a weather balloon that's like floating above the earth, capturing the eclipse. Like, it's that good. Right? It's good enough to call home and say, here's my GPS coordinates. And they, you know, the guys that built the damn thing, are hats off to them. You know, but they found it, right? They built this thing, it went up, it came back down, and they found it. Right? You know, it's the biggest game of golf I've ever seen in my life, right? You know, knock this little white thing up way up in the air, so high that the helium balloon bursts, right? And then it comes back down. Yeah. And you find the damn thing, right? Because you had so much technology on a Raspberry Pi. Right? You know, and it wasn't even a fucking full Pi, man. They were using if I remember correctly, it was a Pi W. You know, the little freaking half-size Pi. Right? So, it was good stuff. It's good stuff. So, you know, and I mean, all of that experience comes into, you know, today. You know, what can you do? You know, how can you, you know, process what's going on? You know, is it something that, you know, you ride around with a robot that just speaks for you when you get into these situations? I don't know. You know, I don't think it's a bad idea that has something that reads typed words. You know, I mean, I have to read typed words, so I think that, you know, having these systems being built now, you know, and at least, you know, systems that are trying to help humanity as a whole, you know, because like I said, I want to be finding all the damn good cops, right? I
making
want to
sure
be.
they're in charge of shit.
Yeah. You know.
And then keeping tabs on them, making sure they don't fucking spoil.
Right. Well, I
think
mean,
they have a shelf life.
well, I mean, I think there's a lot of things that need a better shelf life. Right. I mean, at a certain point, you know, come on.
Right.
Yeah. You know. Just like football players, just like baseball players, just like, you know, every sport's out there. I mean, if they have to help you pick up your hand to make a vote, there's a problem. Right? I mean, there's an issue. We're rolling up on that 45-minute mark. How's everybody in the chats doing? We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. And like version 001 Jukebox just said, if you don't know, you're missing out. ThePoliceRecord.com.
You can find us on every social media. We have a presence on all the platforms. And you can always catch up content that we're posting. You might see more, you might see less. We're not really a social media like producing company. We just always like to come out here and chat and chill with you guys.
Let you know that project's still kicking forward and we're not changing.
No, it's still rolling. Like it's been years now, right? And we haven't even slowed down.
No.
If anything, we work harder and more often and more dedicated. And it's just grown bigger and more complex and better. Speaking of which, if you have an account and you see this, go check it out. And if you find any way that we can make it better or
what
easier, send us an email. The webpage.
Oh, seeing the whole. I thought you were fixing to throw up something visual. I was looking for a visual change, but we're good.
Sorry.
We're good because,
not quite.
Like, I hate to say it, but I don't like where we're actually at, and I don't like. There's no way to actually like edit where we're at, you know, because I think we should be higher up and not any damn stars. Because I guarantee you the chat's going over you two guys when it does it. Anyway, sorry, I'm looking at design things.
Where's your pull request?
You're good.
Yeah, I mean, you literally should be able to just grab us and, you know, move us around. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
right.
I mean, tracks, open source. Check it out. Yeah, come into a GitHub near you. Right, because I'm just sitting here and looking at this. It's just, anyway. Out of professional respect, I'm not going to say anything else. I do have that every once in a while.
Where did I put that? Is it inside of here?
Probably.
I don't know where I put it.
Hey guys, since y'all hung around so long, right?
There it is.
Check this song out. Let's see if I can find it. I like this song. Tell me if you guys like it.
You only wanna scan our faces, track every move. But when the table's turned, they don't approve. Big brother's eyes, but now we got receipts. Expose the badge numbers out on these streets. Facial recognition, what's the game plan? Catching us slipping, but afraid of the same stand.
I like it.
Control, but text a double edge. Cops in the system, now they on the ledge. Profiling us, yeah, they thought it was sweet. Until the AI started taking their seats. ID the badge, no mask that can't hide. Transparency cuts deep, flips the tide. What could go wrong when the system fights back? Now the watchers get rocks, feel the heat in the trap. You built the machine, now you're caught in the storm. Facial
I'm also
ID,
a fan.
yo, what could go wrong? Caught on the cam, yo, you set the precedent.
I'm a real big fan.
Accountability hits now, you hesitate. Eyes in the sky, don't lie for the public. But now they mad when the truth gets published. Surveillance state, welcome to the same zone. Finger on the trigger, now they fear their own phone. You tagged us all, made a digital cage. Now the ops get a taste of the very same rage. They wanna call it justice, but it's just control. Till the script flips back, now they duck patrols. Every face, every badge, no escape in sight. You built this monster, now it owns the night. What's the excuse? It's just for safety? Then why the panic when the neck gets shaky? Data don't care about your rank or your shield. Expose the truth when the cards are revealed. Accountable now, we're breaking the chain. The tech you abuse brings justice in the frame. A cop's just a man with a name and a face. So what could go wrong? The truth's on the case. What could go wrong when the system fights back? Now the watchers get watched, feel the heat in the trap. You built the machine, now you're caught in the storm. Facial ID, yo, what could go wrong? No lies, no disguise, just the facts on blast. Technology's here and the die's been cast. You thought you were safe behind that badge of stronghold, but every face in the database breaks the mold. What could go wrong? Now you already know. Facial ID's the fire, let the truth show. What could go wrong when the system fights back? Now the watchers get watched, feel the heat in the trap. You thought you were safe.
Hey, Midwest. Thanks for stopping in, bro.
What up, Midwest? How are you, sir? Appreciate you making the ride over here.
We are for sure still grinding, bro. It's Friday. It's
Friday.
Closing in on 51 minutes for the stream.
Right.
And we're getting it in. I've literally been mostly letting Chris do all the talking, except when I get on one. And then I'm over here coding.
Right.
I've got an addiction.
I'm cheating by playing y'all music and asking the chat, tell me what you think.
Cheating's okay. I'm a for sure fan.
Yeah, because you can't really be talking over the music, can you?
Truth lives here.
I can.
I can too. Like, just like that.
Streets like they own the code, but that shield don't shine. It hides a heavy load. Badges turn mask, lies in disguise.
Be safe out there, brother.
Yeah.
Watch them little four-wheelers.
Files erased, stories untold, but we dig deep. Watch corruption unfold. Turn up the signal, break through the noise, expose the game, reclaim your voice. Behind that badge, the shadows play on. Track it now. The police wicked back you. Rise up with your content provider and help build the database by supporting and buying your content provider credits today. Turn up the signal, break through the noise, expose the game, reclaim your voice. Behind the badge, the shadows play on. Track it now, the pro is record.us. Support your content provider and help build the database by supporting and buying your content provider credits today. Yeah, framed on a lie, the courtroom's cold. Justice for sale and the innocent sold. Cameras go dark, evidence fades, but the truth stays lit. We cut through the haze. It's bigger than cops, it's the system's disease. Tyranny wrapped in legalese. We're not just watchers, we reclaim the law. Expose the games, every fatal flaw. Turn up the signal, break through the noise. Expose the game, reclaim your voice. Behind that badge, the shadows play on. Track it now, the way me speak your yeah. Turn up the pressure, we shatter the lies. No more silence, we rise and revive. From dirty precincts to the Capitol halls. Find the facts at the police record.us. Support the cause, make it move, stay calm, and donate credits by supporting and buying your content provider credits today. Yeah, it ain't just beat cops, it's controlled.
May the roads be dry, brother.
Oh yeah, for sure.
May the roads be dry.
No erasing the facts. Drilled and cops shifting towns to escape. But AI's watching, sealing their fate. Can't dodge the lands.
Two Wheels, what's up?
Sound the alarm.
Welcome back in here, man. Good to see you.
The watchers get watched, we flip the scale. You want receipts, they're already on. Explore the truth at the police record.us. Track it now, the police record dots. They shut off the cams, erase the reports, but we rewind.
What did it do to the policerecord.com?
No badge too sacred, no lie too strong.
I don't know. I put it up on the screen.
You know what I'm saying? Like it said the policerecord.us.
Oh, that .us works too. Switch it over.
.us.
That's dope. So you guys didn't know that? We got the policerecord.us as well.
Sorry, y'all are learning about the same time that No Name learned about it. Sorry.
Right. I might have heard about it before, but my brain, I'm constantly shoving stuff in and stuff out. So
yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. What do y'all think about that damn song? Y'all like that song? I like that song. Let's see if hip hop gives us something good. It's all right. It's not like what I do. I understand. We'll get better. I'll bring better music. Just give me a little bit. Just give us a little bit on some other things.
It sounds like some alien music.
Well, you know, I went into the Futurama folder, and it got mixed up with Star Wars and a couple other ones. And then the AI looked at it from Restream, and this is what we got. How about Chill Hop? That sounds like the exact same thing. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe. Okay, well, since Chill Hop didn't want to work, coming to a theater near you, we have the policerecord.com. That's the policerecord.com. If you don't know, you're missing out.
Well, damn it, Bobby, get your ass on over there and type in www.thepolicerecord.com and see what the hell he's talking about.
At Tip Midwest. I need to get on with Midwest while he's doing Hank, right? I'll be like, shut up, Mr. Anderson. Hole.
Oh! Caught them damn boys whacking in my trailer.
Anyway, so we're closing in on that 60-minute mark. Want to say thank you to everybody being here. Want to give big shouts out to all you that have subscribed. You guys know who you are. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. You know, it's guys and gals like y'all that show up, talk to us, leave us comments, hit us up, you know, share our shit out. You know, if it wasn't for you guys, this wouldn't have happened. And if it wasn't for you guys, other channels wouldn't know who we are. You didn't miss anything, Two Wheels. We just sitting here jaw jacking, letting everybody know that we're still kicking the police record project right down the road. You know, we didn't have any fancy bells and whistles to show this go around. You know, some will be exciting, and we'll have an adventure of immense proportions of pictures. Right? Do we have a Discord? Yes and no. We don't really have a public Discord yet. We've been working on one. We'll talk about it as a group and see if we want to turn it on.
What do we turn it on?
The TPR Discord.
Gotcha.
You know, there is things that I want to be able to do in Discord, you know, because there are a lot of people that use it that have Discord on one window, or they're sharing a YouTube channel in a Discord window, right? Because I mean, that is a thing. So it might be a thing to, you know, give a place where people can come watch their favorite guys and gals and I don't know. We'll have to figure something out, right? Because there's definitely like notifications of channels that have supported us, things like that. There's a whole thing to build up, and then not only that, but probably we'll start mellowing out on mine and your channel,
Right.
and forcing people to the police record, and let's go ahead and see if we can't get that to 1,000 subscribers and get it on up, get it to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours,
And see about monetizing it.
well, it'd be nice to accept tips on the on our shows and shit like that. I
Right.
think if we put out how-to videos or something like that and people want to drop us a dollar in the hat, fine. No worries, Civ. No worries, man. I got you, bro. There's more to it than just turning on, we created the Discord server, right? It's there, right? It's just not like, it's not set up for public use yet. I mean, it's got not enough channels. It's not got enough information in there for a public facing thing for a company yet, right? But with that being said, and it's being brought up, we'll talk about it and see where we're at with things. So, all right, boys and girls, y'all know how we're gonna leave this. If you got headphones on and they're turned up really loud to hear us talking, now's the time to turn them down, right? Because we're fixing to hit some loud, and we're gonna send this one on down the road. We appreciate everybody coming in. We appreciate you taking time out of your day to be with us. You could have been spending it anywhere you wanted. Oh, that probably didn't work out too well. Where is it? Uh-oh, I can't find it. Is it in that one? There it is. See ya.
Oink oink. Oink 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 oink. I'm the best piggy. Oink 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 oink. Best piggy in the town. Oink 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 oink. Piggy piggy. Oink 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 oink. I'm a pig. Oink 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 oink. I'm the best piggy. Oink 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 oink. Best piggy in the town. Oink 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 oink. Piggy piggy. Oink 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 oink. I'm a pig. Can I get piggies in the chat? Piggies in the chat. I'm the best piggy. Piggy in the chat. Can I get some oink oink oink? Oink oink, mother truckers. Oink oink. Oink oink. Oink 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 oink. I'm the best piggy. Oink 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 oink. Best piggy in the town. Oink 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 oink. Piggy piggy. Oink 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 oink. I'm a pig. Oink 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 oink. I'm the best piggy. Oink 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 oink. Best piggy in the town. Oink 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 oink. Piggy piggy.